Have you ever felt like you're carrying an invisible weight? Like something has a strong hold on you with a lingering thought that just won't let go. It's always on your mind. The remnants of a tough experience, a memory that refuses to fade. Trauma is like a shadow that follows us, altering how we see the world and how we navigate our lives. In this fast-paced journey we call life, traumatic experiences can feel like stubborn roadblocks, hindering your progress and painting your days with shades of fear, sadness, or uncertainty. So, why should you overcome trauma? Because let's face it, carrying that weight isn't fun. It's not easy, but it's crucial for your mental well-being. Here's why overcoming trauma is not just challenging, but an essential part of the journey to a healthier, happier you. Overcoming trauma boosts your confidence. Apart from the nerve-wracking emotional damage that trauma does, it can mess with your head and your life significantly. You might find yourself questioning your worth, feeling powerless, or even blaming yourself for what happened. And in turn, these feelings can significantly impact your self-esteem. As difficult as it sounds, the only way to rebuild your sense of self-worth and restore your confidence is by overcoming your trauma. As you embark on the journey of healing from trauma, you begin to challenge the negative beliefs and self-criticism that have taken root in your mind. You learn to recognize that the traumatic event was not your fault, and you were a victim of circumstances beyond your control. This realization is a pivotal moment in rebuilding your self-esteem. It fixes your relationships. Trauma can have a massive impact on your ability to connect with others. It can leave emotional scars that make it difficult to trust and engage with people. So when you experience traumatic events, it's common to become guarded and anxious about forming connections. Overcoming the effects of those traumatic events can help you break down these barriers and foster better connections with others. And it does this by rebuilding trust. You see, traumatic experiences often shatter your trust in the world and in people. But as you heal, you gradually learn to trust again, both in others and in yourself. This newfound trust is the foundation for building meaningful relationships. It allows you to open up, share your thoughts and feelings, and rely on the support of others without fear and anxiety. It makes you bounce back stronger. You know what they say, what doesn't kill you only makes you stronger. Overcoming trauma is nowhere near being easy, but when you work your way through such a challenge and work on healing, it makes you stronger, both mentally and emotionally. For starters, you'll gain a better understanding of the ins and outs of how the trauma has affected you. This knowledge helps you recognize what makes you feel uneasy or stressed and gives you the ability to handle those situations better. While it is, of course, better to have never experienced the trauma, overcoming it can make all the difference. Plus, you also learn healthier ways to deal with stress and emotions. The process of working through trauma toughens your mental and emotional strength. You become better at enduring challenges because you've already faced and overcome some of the toughest obstacles. Overcoming trauma means you get to heal emotionally. Emotional healing is a crucial part of recovering from trauma. It's like tending to the emotional wounds left behind by a difficult experience. When something traumatic happens, it can leave you with some pretty intense emotional scars. You might feel fearful, ashamed, guilty, angry, or helpless, and these emotions can stick around long enough to wreck your world. These emotions often hang out just beneath the surface, ready to pop up when something reminds you of the traumatic event. This can make it hard to enjoy life fully and feel genuinely happy. To cope, some folks might avoid things that trigger those feelings or numb the pain with unhealthy habits like substance use. These quick fixes don't help in the long run, though. Overcoming trauma means facing the tough memories and emotions that come with it. It could mean talking about what happened, writing in a journal, or using creative outlets like art or music. In the end, it helps you ease some of the emotional pressure and find a sense of relief. Better physical health. Have you ever noticed how traumatic experiences can make you feel like you're in an action movie? It may feel like your body is always in fight or flight mode, and it doesn't seem to know how to switch off. The thing is, trauma does more than just emotional and mental damage. It can also mess with your physical well-being, including your sleep and digestion, and even make you more susceptible to illness. The physical symptoms of trauma plus can be like a surprise twist in the trauma plot. One minute you're fine, and the next, you're dealing with muscle tension, chronic pain, or those sneaky psychosomatic illnesses. It's like your body's way of telling you, hey, I'm not okay. But the good news is, As you work through your trauma and develop healthier coping strategies, these surprising physical symptoms can become a lot less surprising. Overcoming trauma helps your personal growth. When life throws a traumatic experience at you, it can be really tough to go through, and the pain can feel unbearable, especially if you find it really hard to manage your emotions. But once you move past that trauma, you'd find that it not only made you stronger, it also led to some amazing personal growth. One thing that often happens is you get to know yourself on a whole new level. And a lot of times, understanding yourself is just what you need to grow. Because during this time, you become more aware of your strengths and weaknesses and how to use them at your advantage. It helps you make better decisions. Sometimes trauma is like a dense fog that rolls into your life and disrupts everything you've got going on, including your judgment. In this fog, decision-making can get seriously tricky. You're dealing with a lot of emotions, and it's easy to make snap decisions without thinking things through. But as soon as you start healing from your trauma, the emotional storm slowly begins to clear, and you notice a change in the way you make decisions. One big shift is in how you handle your emotions. Trauma often cranks up your feelings to the max, like a roller coaster without brakes. But as you work through your trauma, you pick up some tricks to manage those emotions better, and in turn, make better decisions. It helps you create healthier coping skills. The emotional roller coaster that often comes with traumatic experiences can be incredibly overwhelming. So overwhelming that it makes it difficult for you to manage your feelings. As a result, you may find yourself developing certain coping skills just to pull through. Your decision to overcome your trauma is what makes or breaks your coping skills. When you decide to overcome your trauma and face your fears, you'll consciously make efforts when it comes to developing healthier coping skills that will help you navigate these intense emotions with greater control. In return, healthy coping strategies become your allies in walking through traumatic experiences and handling stress, because they not only help you regain control of your emotions, they also help you reduce stress and significantly enhance your overall mental health. It prevents self-destructive behaviors. It's not news that experiencing trauma can make you grapple with intense emotions, overwhelming stress, and a profound sense of vulnerability. But in extreme cases, some people turn to self-destructive behaviors as a way to cope. These behaviors could include things like drinking too much or using drugs, substances that seem to offer a quick escape from the pain, but can lead to a much bigger mess in the future. On the other hand, overcoming the trauma from certain experiences can help you reduce the risk of these self-destructive behaviors. By seeking help and healing, you're not just making a positive change for yourself, but you're also potentially breaking the cycle of self-destructive behaviors within your family or community. You become a beacon of hope that shows other victims of trauma that there is a way out of the darkness. It prevents long-term consequences. When you've experienced trauma, it's not just a short-lived challenge. Trauma can have long-lasting effects on your mental and emotional well-being. One of the potential long-term consequences is the development of post-traumatic stress disorder, aka PTSD. Now, the good news is that you don't have to let these long-term consequences take over your life. Tackling trauma early gives you a chance to process what happened, which is essential for your mental well-being. Early interventions help you in processing the traumatic experience. This is especially because trauma leaves you with unprocessed emotions and memories, like pieces of a puzzle that haven't been put together. Overcoming trauma early helps to solve the puzzle and reduces the risk of it haunting you for years to come. So there you have it, folks. Fighting trauma can be one hell of a ride, but you have to fight through it to win. And you can do it. Thank you for watching this video. If you like what you saw, please like and subscribe to the MindScope channel. Also, don't forget to share this with those you think could benefit from the information covered. You never know, someone may need to hear something we've discussed in this video or others on the MindScope channel.